Hey everybody, this is Dan from Mechanical Malarkey. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Hypertough half-inch aluminum impact wrench. You may be wondering why a professional mechanic would ever touch a Walmart brand tool like this. That's because my Snap-on one broke, and while waiting for replacement parts I was getting tired of borrowing another tech's impact wrench, so I went and bought this because it was the cheapest. I spent just a little over $50 for this, which is a lot cheaper than even the cheapest at Harbor Freight. I didn't want to spend a whole lot on a temporary tool because I'm just waiting for the parts for my Snap-on one to come in. I also wanted to see if a cheap tool like this could stand up to regular professional mechanic work. So this is a half-inch square drive, obviously. It's built out of aluminum. It has a 4-speed regulator and is rated at a max torque of 250 pound-feet. Also has a no-load speed of 7,000 RPM, as well as a 2-year limited warranty. So let's look at the features of this impact wrench. It's got the trigger. The direction switch is a front to back switch. The switch works fine except for if you're holding against the back of it to hold on a fastener as you're loosening it, you might accidentally hit the switch and then either it will be partially selected and it won't move anymore, or you might actually go all the way to tighten. At the bottom there is a 4-speed regulator. Push it in and twist. The air exhaust is on the front here, which I'm not a big fan of. One reason is because sometimes I have it pointed mostly towards my face if there's a bolt on the back side of what I'm looking at. And then when I pull the trigger, I get blasted in the face with air unless I remember to cover it with my hand. The other reason I don't like it on the front is if I just oiled it and there's a lot of oil in there, I pull the trigger, it blasts oil out, sometimes all over the car, all over the wheel that I'm trying to take the lug nuts off of. So the answer for how well did this stand up to daily professional use is started out okay. Rated with only 250 pound-feet of torque, just like I expected, it felt a lot weaker than my Snap-on, but for something this cheap, can't really expect it to be very high power. So with that amount of power, it did pretty good with all the lug nuts. I don't use these for much else besides a little suspension work, but I don't do a whole lot of that. I didn't baby this along at all. I use it just like I use my Snap-on one, including sometimes using it as a hammer to get the wheels off when they're a little stuck on the hubs. And the aluminum held up fine for that. There is one little dent from where I hit a steel wheel pretty hard, but it's fine. It's also got some scratches from scraping across the ground a few times, but when you're working on cars, that kind of thing happens, and the tool should be able to take it, and it did. So for most of my uses, it got the job done for about a month. After about a month, even with consistent oiling like you're supposed to do, it just got weaker, eventually to the point where it wouldn't even take off an 80 pound-foot lug nut. So I've torqued these to 80 pound-feet. Let's see if this can actually get them off. As you can see, I could barely even budge that. And I've taken wheels off with this air compressor plenty of times with my Snap-on impact wrench. So for some reason, this is just super weak now. After getting tired of not being able to get lug nuts free with this and having to use a breaker bar first before this, which I shouldn't have to do, I eventually started borrowing another tech's impact wrench. I'm not actually sure why it got weaker over time, but I got decent use out of it in the month or so that it was good. After not using this for a few weeks, I pulled it out again right before this review to try it out, just to see if it had gotten better by sitting, and it worked for 2 wheels, and then third wheel, it did not have enough power. So I think I'm done with this. For a hobbyist mechanic who's just working in their home garage every other weekend, this may get the job done for them and may last a while. But for a professional, I would definitely spend more money than this. So the question is, would I buy this again? No. Would I recommend it for someone doing some hobby work? Maybe. Might also want to look at some other brands, but if this is all you can afford for doing a weekend project and you just need to get that bolt loose, this might be your ticket. But at only 250 pound-feet, a breaker bar might work better. If I was going to rate this on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, it would get maybe a 1, because only a month of use and then it's too weak to do anything that I need it for, that's kind of useless. So that's my review of the HyperTough 1/2" aluminum impact wrench. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and read the blog at mechanicalmalarkey.com. Thanks for watching.